By the year 2011, the Wii's popularity had taken a massive nosedive. As much as many people might not like to admit it, me included, the Wii's popularity, especially in the beginning days, was because it was seen as a fad. You know, we would like to play and all that good stuff. But by 2011, we were 5 years in. People didn't care about any of that anymore. The only people that were still interested in the Wii at this point were people that were already Nintendo fans to begin with, and people that had actually taken an interest in it during its lifespan. And that's not even mentioning the 3DS that was about to come out, surely to massive success. And then, Nintendo already had their new console on the horizon, the Wii U, which would also surely release to massive success. I mean, come on, it has Wii in the name, how could it fail? But, at the same time, the 3DS didn't really have too many games on launch.
It's Ridge Racer!
And the Wii U was still a year away, so they still had to give us something. Now, of course, this doesn't mean that the year of 2011 was empty. Of course not. You can't just go a whole year with no big releases just because you're gearing up for a new one. Nobody does that. The year of 2011 was actually pretty stacked. Games like Kirby's Return to Dreamland, Fortune Street, Skyward Sword, Wii Play Motion, Mario and Sonic, Spider-Man Edge of Time, Power Rangers Samurai, Modern Warfare 3, and of course, the game we're talking about today, Mario Sports Mix. I mean, do I really need to give you a basic rundown of what Mario Sports Mix is? You can probably figure it out just by that title alone. But just in case you can't, Mario Sports Mix is a Mario sports game. Okay, but seriously, it's a Mario sports game that breaks the mold actually, because it focuses on 4 sports instead of 1, being basketball, volleyball, dodgeball, and hockey. Fun fact, dodgeball is kinda sorta the only original sport here. Basketball had already been done in Mario Hoops 3-on-3 on the DS. Hockey had already been done in Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games. And I say kinda sorta because it actually beat Mario and Sonic to the punch with volleyball because London 2012 didn't come out until later that year. So this game had introduced dodgeball into the Mario Sports Club, which is great, just for it never to end up being used ever again. So sad, I know. So, you boot up the game, you get this awesome intro sequence, then you have to create a profile. Then you have to create a profile like this is Facebook, because obviously everyone in the family needs a separate profile. You can't figure out how many games of hockey you've played on your profile if everyone's playing on the same one, can you? That's what I thought. Getting into the actual sports though, I'll start with basketball because it's the first one you load in on, so why not? Now to start with, every sport in this game has a 2-on-2 or 3v3 variant. I decided to go with 3v3 to show off all the sports in this video because that's what I always played when I was a kid anyway. It's very simple. You run up and down the court trying to defend your basket, trying to score in the other team's basket. Pretty cut and dry. However, you commit some of the most egregious fouls known to man. That's a reach-in foul. That's a fucking flagrant foul. That is definitely a goaltend if I've ever seen one. But guess what? It's a Mario game. Rules don't exist. And the Mushroom Kingdom has apparently never heard of a foul before. So guess what? You get away with knocking people on the fucking ground like you're Lou Dort or something. The team with the most points at the end of both halves win. And believe me when I say, these games, depending on which stage you're playing on, can get very out of hand very quickly. You can shoot the 3, you can shoot the 2, well actually you can just shoot from anywhere on the fucking court if you feel like it. You can dunk the ball, you can jelly the fuck out of that layup. You can even throw alley-oops if you feel so inclined. And trust me when I say scoring in this game is super fucking satisfying, especially in basketball. Moving on to our next sport though, we have hockey. As the rules of hockey go, you have to score the puck into the other team's goal. The puck is a coin, that's a pretty cute detail, I will not lie. The protection for the goal though depends on what stage you're playing on. Unlike basketball where pretty much nothing changes except the aesthetic, on one stage you might get an actual goalie, on the other you might get fucking traffic cones. And as you can see in this game, unless you crank the difficulty all the way up, the AI is a fucking joke. There's also this little clash mechanic that you can do when the puck is served and you have to shake the Wii remote to win. It's actually pretty fun, but you're never expecting it, so you'll probably end up losing most times. Next up on the list we have volleyball, which, fun fact, is actually competing with hockey for the most boring sport in the game. I may have pissed off all 3 of the volleyball fans watching this video, but I don't care. Volleyball, unlike the other sports here, works on sets instead of periods. See, there's an amount of points, being 15, called set points. If you get 15 points, that's a set. And if you win 2 sets, you win the game. Which in layman's terms basically means that since it's based on points and not based on time, it will take the longest out of any sport to finish one match for. Small spoiler, but dodgeball doesn't work on time either, it works on health bars. Which makes sense for dodgeball, obviously, and since it works on health bars, it's over pretty quickly. Meanwhile, since volleyball works on the point system, just completing one set will feel like it takes you all goddamn day. And may God have mercy on your soul if you can't get it done in 2 sets and have to stretch it to 3. Or if you get stuck in a stalemate like I did in this clip at the end of the set, it'll feel like an eternity before the game is over. But now, we move on to my favorite sport in the game, probably because it's the only one that never came back in any way, shape, or form. Dodgeball. Dodgeball is the most straightforward sport in this game. Throw the ball at the people on the other team and hit them. They have health bars up in the top, and when the health bar is empty, that's it, they're out. Just like real dodgeball though, if you get the ball to the person that's out on the sidelines and they hit a person that's inside the court playing, they can get back in the game. Which means that you can keep abusing this mechanic as long as the other team can't actually catch the ball on the way over, because that is a thing that they can do. They can jump up and grab the ball out of the air so it doesn't get to your teammate. But I guess now is probably a good time to mention items and coins. You might have noticed the coins in all of the other sports just increase your score. For example, if you have 2 coins and you make a 3-pointer in basketball, you get the 3 points, and then the coins give you 2 additional points for a total of 5. Pretty simple. But in dodgeball specifically, the coins serve a different mechanic. Obviously, because you're not scoring, you're trying to get people out. So what do? Increase your damage. So now, if you have enough coins, you can take out half of somebody's health bar in 1 hit. Or, if you have even more, you can take them out in 1 hit from full health. Broken. But I love it. Now the items, pretty par for the course. Red shells, green shells, bananas, bombs, mini mushrooms, and stars. See, the thing about the items in this game is that you can use them in 2 different ways. You can either just throw them on the field, kind of like Mario Kart, where you throw the green shell at somebody, you throw the red shell at somebody, you throw the bomb at somebody, you throw the banana on the field, hoping somebody slips on it, something like that. Or you can use it in a more interesting way, where you can turn the ball or the puck into the item that you have and then use it as a projectile. For example, red shells go around in a circle, bananas cause people to slip, bombs are, well, bombs, I'm sure you can figure that part out. And you can do this in so many different ways, especially in different sports. For example, if you use a mini mushroom to block the ball, guess what happens? They get shrunk, and now they're pretty much a complete liability on defense and can't do anything. There's a strategy to these items, and I can appreciate some good fucking strategy. There's also the special moves, and these special moves are pretty ranged. You have fucking wizards shrinking people, you have people creating clones of themselves, throwing piss missiles at people, or just straight up throwing fireballs at people. I'm pretty sure none of these moves are legal in literally any sport, but hey, it's a fun mechanic, I won't lie. There's also multiple game modes to choose from. Exhibition, just being a nice single match, you know, choose your character, choose your difficulty, choose your stage, and go on and have fun. And there's also the tournament mode. Long story short on the tournament mode, a giant meteor comes crashing down. A bunch of toads find the meteor and start digging around for it. No gloves, no hazmat suits, no nothing. And find 4 crystals. A blue one with a hockey puck, a red one with a basketball, a green one with a volleyball, and a yellow one with a dodgeball. And you know what the first thing they decide to do is? Host a fucking tournament. No concern, no forensic study, no nothing. Just, you know what? I see a dodgeball, we're hosting a dodgeball tournament, and whoever wins gets to keep this foreign object from space as a trophy. If that isn't reasonable, I don't know what is. There's 3 cups, the mushroom cup, the flower cup, and the star cup, and each get progressively more difficult as you keep playing, as you can imagine. Once you've beaten all of these tournament modes at least once, it unlocks alternate routes for you, and these alternate routes can get you anything from alternate characters to alternate skins and bonus maps. It's pretty cool, all things considered. You would never think that something like that would be in a sports game, but I mean, hey. And if you do it on the Star Cup, you actually manage to get to the Star Road. Now, I have no footage of this because I've literally never done this in my life. So, and here we are at the final match of the Star Cup, ready to get my trophy. Who the fuck? So yeah, your trophy gets stolen, thrown into an airship that is clearly not big enough. So now you have to go chase the guy and get it back. And I have no fucking idea who any of these people are, but they have sprites next to their names, so they must be important. Oh, yeah, that makes sense now. As I'm sure some of you might already know, this game was developed by Square Enix. Yes, this Square Enix, that Square Enix. Which means that they put Final Fantasy characters in this game, which includes these three and these three. Actually, I'm pretty sure the slime is a Dragon Quest character, but I could be wrong on that. So after you beat the Final Fantasy team, you get the crystal, put it into this little pedestal on the ship. You might notice there's 4 of them. And once you do that, you just go back home and you finish out the whole thing. So what happens when you collect all 4 crystals? They turn into one giant dark ass crystal, open a portal in space, and then drag you to the middle of fucking nowhere. Yeah, and then you have to go up against this fucking thing. Remember how this is supposed to be a sports game? Square Enix really just can't resist the Final Fantasy in any game they work on, can they? But you know what? I'm not complaining. This is epic. This is exactly what I bought the game for. I'm lying my ass off. I didn't even know this was in the game when I bought it. Also, I would just like to point out how fucking hilarious it is that Kingdom Hearts, a series that is co-created by Square Enix, gets a behemoth that looks like this. But then a Mario sports title coming out in the last relevant year of the Wii gets a behemoth that looks like this. What the hell is going on? As you can see, this dude's health bar is fucking unreal. So then, you might be asking, how exactly do I beat this guy? Well, I'll show you. Alright, it's not that easy. So, there's item panels on the ground, and they give you one of 2 things, either an actual item or a meteorite. All the items you get are simply green shells and bombs. At least I'm pretty sure those are the only items you get, because those are the only ones I can remember getting. As for the meteorite, well, you can either just throw it at the guy, because that's super fucking effective, or you can choose to volley it, you know, like a volleyball, with your teammates. And the more you volley it with your teammates, the more it charges up. And when it's at its full charge, you can spike it at the thing. Because I'm sure that spiking a volleyball-sized meteor at this fucking hellspawn over here is gonna do so much damage. But you just might have noticed at the bottom of the screen, every time you and your teammates volley the meteor back and forth, it goes up. And you know, it looks suspiciously like the special move meter from the sports I just talked about not that long ago. I wonder if it's building up to a special move. The single greatest addition to a sports game I think I've ever seen in my life. I mean, think about it. You don't see NBA 2K, MLB, Madden, anybody do anything like this. And for good reason. They know they can't top the GOAT that is Mario Sports Mix, so they don't even try. And through the power of Square Enix magical bullshit, you guys somehow managed to create another portal to come back home. And then besides being late to accept your trophy, everyone else just accepts what just happened as normal and doesn't even question it. It's like, nah, we got our trophy. Everything's fine. Let's not talk about the fucking space demon that we just had to kill. I mean, there's a real possibility he could have fucking killed us, but you know what? Whatever. Doesn't matter. So obviously doing all that nets you the crystal, and in turn, the crystal awards you with sports mix mode. It's basically just what it sounds like. It's a tournament, but every match you play is a different sport. And when you beat that, the main menu actually turns red. Pretty nice. And lastly, there's these little icons in the corner, one of which being the record section, which, fun fact, on my OG save file on my Wii, says that I've played 450 games of dodgeball. I'm totally not addicted, I swear. There's also a button for the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection. Yeah, remember that thing? But you know, seeing as how it's the year 2026 and all, it's about as useful as a paraplegic's legs, so no point in bothering with that. There's also the party mode with minigames, but I'm not going to lie to you,
it's the biggest piece of dog shit.
As I said before, this game came out during the decline of the Wii in 2011. Most people would probably say the decline started in 2010, but this is one of the few games right here that prove that 2011 wasn't actually a bad year for the Wii. It's just too bad that dodgeball, just like baseball, got abandoned completely and never brought up again. Play the tiny violin.